Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm back playing World of Tanks in my T110E5, my first tier 10 tank. And a tank that I still don't know how to play that well, although I think I am getting slightly better at it. I've done a little bit of reading on the interwebs about how I should be playing this tank, because it doesn't seem to play like I'm used to the M103 playing. And I've seen a few people say that you should play this like a big medium. And I guess that makes sense to me. It is fairly fast for a heavy tank. So in this game, I decide to try to get up to an aggressive position and hope that my team will support me here. Unfortunately, the T-71 makes it up onto the northwestern hills, rather, and starts spotting the IS-8 and myself. And so I'm getting hit from the forest by all of their tank destroyers, thanks to the T-71 spotting me. And I believe that was an HE shell that just hit the front of my turret. But I was wondering at the time what could be firing HE at me. No. And I was also getting kind of mad that I was being spotted, so I decided to just blind fire a bush and take out the T-71, which was pretty lucky for me. Unfortunately, T-44 is also in the northwest hills, so can't really advance at the T110E5 on the enemy team, because we'd get shot in the side. Unfortunately, he's keeping us spotted, and artillery just hit the IS-8. So I'm trying to get our artillery to take out the T-44. Because we do have a whole bunch of tanks just grouped up here. And with him out of the way, it would just make it easier for us to swing around and start assaulting them. And I'm still getting hit from the woods. But our artillery is about to take out the T-44. There he goes. And now we can start pushing around. The enemy team is about to start being aggressive with their heavy tanks from the forest into the southeast. So we have to clear out this area of the enemy. And then it was my plan to head back after that, once these few enemy tanks were dealt with. Although this T110E5 is a bit of a priority for me, as he is the best player on the enemy team. So I'd like to get him killed as fast as possible. Although I don't want to go too far around this corner, because I'd be exposing myself to all the enemy tank destroyers that could be camped up in the northeast and forest area. As this IS-8 is about to find out, as he gets assassinated by the enemy Waffenträger Auf E100. So our southeast is valiantly fighting off the enemy heavy tanks, although they are all going to die, unfortunately. And for some reason, the Waffenträger Auf Panzer IV on our team decides he needs to rush over there to try and help the dying Foch 155. I decide that I probably can't get over there in time to save the Foch. However, I do have shots on this enemy Waffenträger Auf E100, which is a pretty dangerous tank. And I thought I would have some shots on the side of the T-57 Heavy as well, although that didn't turn out to be the case.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Unfortunately, our Waffenträger auf Panzer IV is basically suiciding himself on the enemy Tier 8 heavy tanks, which seems like kind of a waste. Although he did manage to take out the T-32, he's going to die for it. I'm sorry about the spam here. It seems like even if you do ignore somebody, their chat still pops up in replays. And now the enemy Waffenträger auf Panzer IV rushes in, and I don't think he actually gets to do anything here. He just gets one shot by our artillery, which is a great result for us. And actually we have, at the moment, most of the map under our control, which is good for us, as they're all clustered into the forest. And there's another HE shell, and there's no more artillery on the enemy team. Though I don't think I realized it was HE at the time. I think I just noticed I got hit. And an ISU 152 is not the kind of tank you want to see when you're on low health like this, since he could one-shot me. Although he seems to fire and miss there. I'm pretty sure I didn't realize this at the time, but this guy was actually using the 152mm howitzer, and not the BL-10, which was what I was pretty afraid of here. But I get to put a shot into him, and the bat chat finishes him off. And now I'm on 4 kills, and I'm thinking maybe I can make this a Top Gun, since there are 3 enemy tanks left. Now I'm just waiting for our friendlies to get into position and start advancing on the enemy. I believe our E100 is still on either full health or most of his health. Yeah, full health, and the bat chat's pretty well off as well. Unfortunately, that roll is a bit low, and I don't get to finish off the object. But there's still 2 more kills, so I can get Top Gun, right? Well, it looks like the Waffenträger Alpha E100 is tearing apart the friendly E100. And I'm just waiting for the Waffenträger Alpha E100 to be low enough for me to one-shot him for 5 kills. And now it's just a matter of getting the T-30 spotted and low enough so I can one-shot him as well. Now, I don't usually try to get Top Gun like this, but this had the possibility of being my first Top Gun in a Tier 10, so I was a little bit excited, and I kind of wanted it. But I waited too long, and the bat chat and the 110, I think, fired at the exact same moment, basically. So it wasn't the result that I was hoping for, but it wasn't that bad of a result either. I think the game was fairly decent, and I had a fairly okay roll-in as well, although the real MVP of this game was our artillery player in the FV 3805 with 5,000 damage and over 1,000 experience. So, good job to him. He really led us to victory there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe I'll catch you next time. Happy hunting.